Yo guys, how's it going? We're back for another episode of FIFA 19 career mode with Bolton. Here starting this episode off with a game against Reading in the league. Hopefully trying to come out with the 3 points as we give our debut to our two new signings from the last episode in Sam Hughes, the centre back, and Woodman, our goalkeeper. Hopefully they'll both get off to a good start for us, keep out a lot of goals hopefully throughout the season or throughout the career mode. Hopefully if we can carry on increasing them, getting them better and all the stuff like that. If we can, then brilliant, and hopefully this will be the start of that happening. Getting ourselves the 3 points out of this game will be absolutely brilliant, to be honest. We did have to make a couple of changes to help with fitness reasons and stuff like that, but at the end of the day we've still got a decent side out there. But Reading also have a couple of decent players that are very good and I need to watch out for. But straight from kickoff we do come forward on an attack, trying to get ourselves into some space. Josh Bella giving the ball to Sammy Amiobi, who plays it down his line to Olawaske, who whips it to the far post. They try and get the ball away. It only comes as far as Olawaske, who crosses it back into the box. It was a beautiful cross, and it is 1-0 to us. It was a brilliant piece of play, and it is Wiltshire who gets the goal to make it 1-0. A very, very good second attempt at a cross there from Olawaske after the first one got cleared, and Wiltshire knocks it over the keeper with the header. Keeper probably should have done a bit better there, realistically. The shot was straight at him. He didn't do well enough there, and he should have really saved that. But at the end of the day, it's in the back of the net, and that's all I care about. It's the main thing for me, and it is meaning that we do go 1-0 up in this game. Again, we are at home, so we are expecting to get the 3 points more than normal. But a few minutes later, pretty much straight from kickoff, we come forward on another attack with Jason Lowe playing it out again to Olawaske, being like a centre point of our attacks at this point, with Van Buren then making the run ahead, taking the ball and taking the shot, and this time it goes just onto the post. It was a very decent shot there from Van Buren, but unluckily for us it did just hit the back of the outside of the post. Didn't quite hit the back of the net, and it is remaining at 1-0 at this point. But they do come forward on an attack of their own to try and get themselves back on level pegging as they play it down their right hand side. Yaidon tries to whip in across. It gets blocked, but it does still somehow end up in the back of the net from a Sam Bulldog finish. And that is definitely not what we wanted to see from our young goalkeeper on his debut. Basically turning the ball into his own net there. It will count as Sam Bulldog's goal, as it was based. I'm assuming it was going to be on target anyway. But as you see here, Sam Bulldog taking the shot, and the keeper had it saved, but for some reason, instead of parrying it the other way or above the goal or anything like that, he decides to hit it sideways and into the back of his own net. And like I say, it's not the debut we wanted from Woodman, but at the end of the day it has happened, and it is in the back of the net to make it one apiece. We are back on level peggings, and it's like I say, not what we planned for his debut, but we do come forward on an attack to try and get ourselves back in the lead in the 31st minute. Josh Bella whipping that cross in, it nearly landed in Van Buren. Sammy Amiobi taking the shot on the half volley, and this time it goes and gets saved from the keeper. Probably should have done a bit better there. I think if I'd hit it first time it might have worked a bit better, but I decided to take the touch because we had that little bit of space in front of us, but it didn't quite work out this time. But just before half time they come forward on an attack, Sam Hughes winning the ball back. It was a terrible piece of play again from Beavers, giving the ball away. And after looking at these episodes, like when I go back to edit them, I have realised how many mistakes Beavers have made this season, just from either trying to pass the ball out of the back, but how many times he gave the ball away, mainly from passing out of the back. But yeah, that was a beautiful finish though from Bulldog. I'm not taking anything away from that finish. First time finesse straight into the top corner. But like I say, it was all from a Beaver mistake, and again it's another goal that we concede from a mistake at the back. and we really need to improve on that if we do want to be in the Premier League and actually contest in the Premier League next season. But we do go 2-1 down, and just after half time, we win the ball back off of Reading here, trying to come forward on an attack. We open that little bit of space up for Van Buren to run into. He takes on his man, takes the shot, and it was a very, very good save from the Reading keeper there. He should have found the back of the net, but he gets his arm just out, just in time, and it knocks it onto the floor and bounces up and over the bar. It wasn't very good defending there from Reading, but at the end of the day, it got the job done, and that is the end of that attack. As they do come forward on another attack again, really putting the pressure on us now. With mates coming, giving the ball into a Luco, a little bit of passing play in the centre of the park, beautiful passing, quick passing, one-touch passing, beautiful play. As Yaidon whips the ball in, and it is the third goal to make it 3-1. After going 1-0 up, it was a brilliant cross. Terrible defending again for that goal. To be fair, the defender definitely should have got his head to that first. He didn't even bother jumping for that, which is terrible. And this is really not how we wanted Hughes's and Woodman's opening day to go. This time it was Hughes that made the mistake that time, which means that both players that we have signed have made a mistake to lead to a goal in this game, which is not what we wanted out of our new signings, and it's definitely not in their debut. But I guess it's better to get it out of the way now than have it in a few games time or anything like that. At the end of the day, they're still learning to fit into the squad, and it does mean that we do go 3-1 down, but straight from kickoff we do try and come forward on an attack. They try and clear the ball. It only comes as far as our defence. We come forward again on a quick counter attack as we find some space for Wiltshire, who gets down the wing, quick cross, and it was a beautiful little bit of play there from the lads. And Van Buren sticks it in the back of the net to give us a bit of a chance to get ourselves back on level pegging. It would be a hell of a comeback if we can do it. And like I say, it was a very decent finish to turn it away from the keeper as well, to be fair, from Van Buren, because if it hit it straight, then I reckon either the keeper or the defender would have stopped that from going in. But it does mean that we are back in contention for this game to get ourselves at least back on level peggings, or if we can go on and ahead and win this game. Like I say, after going 1-0 up, it's not what you want to see, going behind and actually losing the game. But Sammy Amiobi gets that ball on the right hand side again, gives it to Jason Lowe, who finds Van Buren, and again it's Wiltshire making that run in front of him. He goes ahead and finds him, he whips the ball in, the defender gets it clear, Muscat gets onto the ball, he finds Josh Vella, who finds Luke Murphy, and that time it goes just wide of the post. It was a decent shot there from Murphy, but probably should have done a bit better realistically. With the amount of space he had, he probably should have done a bit better. But at the end of the day, it didn't end up in the back of the net, and it really wasn't looking like our day at this point, as they do come forward on another attack, really trying to put the nail in the coffin really, as Barrow gets onto the ball, plays a beautiful ball inside. And I honestly, when that shot got taken, I thought that was 4-2, but luckily, as you see there, it goes just wide of the post. I don't think Woodman was getting to that, but it did go wide. But it did, in fact, end 3-2. We did lose after taking that leading position. We did go ahead and lose this one 3-2. Like I say, it basically all three goals came from defensive mistakes in this game. Well, goalkeeper and defensive mistakes, which just wasn't good enough. And we really need to improve if we want to be challenging for them spots up in the table that we are at the moment. But if we're playing games like that, we really don't deserve to be in the Premier League. But as you see here, we do go into our second and final game of today's episode against Sheffield United. But I wanted to add one thing. We did have a transfer deadline day in the middle of these two games, but literally nothing happened between them. In that transfer deadline day, nothing at all happened. We didn't get any offers for any of our players. We didn't send any offers because we hardly had any money left after signing the two players we did. So literally there was no point in showing it. So we just go straight into this game against Sheffield United. Hopefully they're trying to bounce back into winning ways after we did go ahead and lose that last one. They've got a couple of decent players, like I say, Woodburn, I believe, is on loan from Liverpool, and also John Fleck is a player I've always liked, even though he is doing job. But anyway, we'll put that aside, and he is, like I say, a good player. But the first chance is in the 16th minute as Sheffield come forward on an attack, trying to put the pressure on us early. McGoldrick playing it to John Fleck, who plays it outside to Stevens, whips the cross in, and Liam Clark was just left completely open, no one marking him. The player that was meant to be marking him just ran away from him towards the goal and left him with an open header to put into the back of the net. And like I say, after losing that last game, after taking the lead, this is definitely not what we wanted to see. Going 1-0 down so early on in this game, and like I say, it just wasn't good enough defending again. Keeper probably should have done a bit better as well. But at the end of the day, it's another mistake, and it's cost us again. And how many times are we going to let this happen? Because we, like I say, at the minute we're contesting for the high places, like even automatic promotion places we're contesting for at the minute. But when we're playing like this, we just don't deserve it. As Freeman comes forward, we do get the tackle off, but they do get a throw-in to carry on their attack as he throws the ball to Evans. John Fleck plays it to McGoldrick, who seemed to be a crucial part in this side. He whips the cross in. We've seen how dangerous Clark was in the first chance, and he tucks it away again to make it 2-0. And honestly, at this point, I thought about just giving the game up because we looked like we were getting absolutely demolished. Liam Clark getting 2 chances, scoring 2 goals, 2 headers, and again, it came off a deflected cross this time. And they still beat us to the ball. He's stronger than the CDM, shall I say, Joe Williams, I believe that is. And again, the defender's running away from the man. I know that Joe Williams basically had him covered, but he's a shorter man. Beavers should still be going to try and mark his man. He didn't do so, and again, it cost us to make it 2-0 now. And it really wasn't looking good. But going into the second half, we started bright there, coming forward with Stephen Ireland, giving it to Van Buren, luckily getting the bounce as Wildschut gets the ball. He tries to cross it in. The keeper gets the header clear. We keep the ball with Joe Williams finding Buckley, who takes the shot, but the keeper does make the save and gets the ball clear. But again, we just keep pressuring Sheffield, shall I say. Ireland makes his way into the box, takes the shot, and we got a penalty, even though Ireland had took the shot. As you see, he did go down just after he'd taken the shot. I believe the arm of the defender took him out. As you see there, it was a bit like a follow through. Personally, I don't think that was a penalty, to be honest. He'd already taken the shot. It's not like he was infringing on anything realistic left, but he did give the penalty, and Will Buckley steps up to take it to try and get himself back into this game, at least have a bit of a chance of getting back into it. As he steps up, we have a look at a few other kick takers. We just decide to take it with Buckley, who places it beautifully into the bottom left corner. There was no way, even if the keeper had gone the right way, he was saving that. He was tucked thoroughly into that bottom corner and straight into the side netting, nearly hitting the post, and it was a beautiful finish. And it does mean it did turn into 2-1 at this point, looking like we had that little bit of a chance. Like I say, we had some good attacking play there, so we knew we had something to build on after this goal, and we were really going to try and look to try and get back on level terms, if not more, if we could. As you see, we do come forward, and it looked like it was a game of 2 halves. As Ireland comes forward, charging forward, gives the ball to Van Buren, who's open, throw on goal, takes the shot, and makes it 2 apiece. After going 2-0 down, we bring it back to 2-2. And honestly, like I just said, it was literally a game of 2 halves, this one. They battered us in the first one, and we battered them in the second. This, like I say, we took 2 chances, 2 goals, and 2 decently created chances as well. There weren't really lucky finishes or anything like that. It was a good finish from Van Buren, now getting his 8th goal in the league, sort of stepping it up a little bit now. But we do come forward on another attack, like I say, to try and, at this point, we just felt really lucky to even be back on level terms, and we looked like going forward to try and get the winner after we had so much confidence of drawing back level. As we play the ball around the box a little bit to try and not rush anything, we tried to whip it in, it didn't quite work out. As they try and retain the ball, they give the ball away through an interception. Joe Williams plays it to Ostuma, he turns his man, and what a finish from Ostuma that was. On an angle, it looked like an impossible angle to score from. He puts it into the top right corner, and a beautiful finish and a brilliant turnaround after going 2-0 down in the first half. 3 goals in the second half have brought us back from 2-0 down to 3-2 up. And honestly, when you're on about games of 2 halves, this one just thoroughly explains everything about one of those games. It was brilliant for us. I'm sure it was absolutely tragic for them, but I wasn't bothered how they was feeling. We was in the back, in the lead in this one, and we did in fact win the game 3-2. And like I say, just what a turnaround from the boys that was. They put all their effort in, and it ended up paying off for us, which was brilliant for us. I couldn't have been happier when that 3rd goal went in. Like I say, as soon as that second half started, we looked dangerous. We looked like we were going to score goals, and that's exactly what we did. And if we play, see, like in the last game, I said if we play like that, we ain't going to do well. If we play like this, we definitely are. And that is the main thing. But that is the end of today's episode, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.